In the early hours of January 3rd, 2020, shortly after arriving at Baghdad International Airport, Major General Qasem Soleimani was killed in a U.S. drone strike. His close ally, the deputy head of Iraq's Popular Mobilization Forces, Abu Mahdi al-Mohandes, also died along with 8 others. Missiles from the U.S. drone hit their convoy as it left the airport. Soleimani was the commander of the Quds Force, a unit of Iran's Revolutionary Guard responsible for foreign operations. And he was also considered to be the second most powerful man in Iran, behind the country's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. The news of his death made official by Iran's state TV. A 3-day mourning period was announced, and Iran vowed revenge as U.S. President Donald Trump stood by his decision with this claim.
Last night, at my direction, the United States military executed a flawless strike that terminated the terrorist ringleader responsible for gravely wounding and murdering thousands and thousands of people and hundreds at least of Americans. Qasem Soleimani has been killed, and his bloody rampage is now forever gone.
For Ayatollah Khamenei, Soleimani was a trusted confidant, a member of his inner circle, and a friend for more than 30 years. Almost 12 months on, the commander-in-chief of Iran's armed forces says he's not done avenging Soleimani's death.
Whenever it's possible, we will take revenge. We will take revenge on those who ordered Soleimani's assassination and the ones who carried out that assassination.
Just hours after Soleimani's body was laid to rest in his hometown of Kerman, on January 7th, the Revolutionary Guard launched 13 missiles at the U.S. base Ain al-Assad in Iraq. No Americans were killed, but tensions increased. Iran was on high alert and accidentally shot down a Ukrainian airline passenger plane, killing all 176 people on board. While the United States said they were not seeking regime change in Iran, Trump's decision to kill Qasem Soleimani had far-reaching repercussions. Feared by his enemies inside Iran, Soleimani had for years been one of the most popular national figures in the country. The international face of Iranian resistance to American pressure, he remained largely untouched by the diminishing popularity of the country's elected government. His death prompted calls for the expulsion of U.S. troops from the Middle East by Iranian officials, as well as Iranian-backed groups in Iraq, and it's a demand which still stands a year later.
Officials here called Soleimani's assassination a new chapter in the history of the Middle East. While many countries condemn the act, no one has actually been held accountable, despite efforts by Iran to prosecute U.S. President Donald Trump through Interpol. Soleimani's role was quickly filled by his deputy, but his legacy is now entrenched in Iran's history. Dorsa Jabari, Al Jazeera, Tehran.
Thousands of people filled Tahrir Square in central Baghdad. We will not stop until we have our revenge, they chant. Revenge for the killing of Iranian Revolutionary Guards Chief Qasem Soleimani and the deputy head of Iraq's Popular Mobilization Forces, Abu Mahdi al-Mohandes, by a U.S. drone strike near Baghdad airport 1 year ago.
The blood of the martyrs will not be wasted. On the principle of Imam Hussein, this is a message for the world after the Americans spread language of sectarianism and killings. Our project will never end. It's an Islamic one.
We are here to remember the martyrs who were killed in the U.S. drone strikes, and we demand that U.S. forces leave this country. Wherever they go, they cause destruction.
On January the 5th last year, 2 days after Soleimani's assassination, Iraq's parliament passed a non-binding resolution calling for the approximately 3,200 American military personnel to leave. Prime Minister Mustafa Kadhimi, who took office in May, promised a timetable for that withdrawal, but many Iraqis accuse him of dragging his feet and kowtowing to U.S. demands. The Iraqi Prime Minister Mustafa Kadhimi agrees with the thousands of people that have gathered here today that there must be a withdrawal of U.S. troops from Iraq. But many people here accuse him of listening too much to Washington
and not acting fast enough to ensure that all American troops go.
The Iraqi government is the same as the American government. They are just working for American interests. Parliament voted to expel US forces, but nothing has happened. If Americans don't leave on their own accord, we will force them to leave with our blood.
The outgoing Trump administration has promised to withdraw 500 US military personnel from Iraq by mid-January. That would leave around 2,500 still in the country. It is unclear how the next US President, Joe Biden, will respond to the situation in Iraq, a country analysts say is being politically, militarily, and economically dominated by neighboring Iran. But the message from these Iraqis is clear. Charles Strafford, Al Jazeera, Baghdad.
Happening today and events taking place around it. People flooding onto the streets of Iran and Iraq to mark exactly a year since the military commander Qasem Soleimani was killed by a US drone attack. In fact, these are the latest live pictures that are coming in from Baghdad. Mourners, as I said, holding that mock funeral procession on the highway leading to the city's airport, amongst other places as well, where a year ago, January the 3rd, 2020, that strike took place. Angry crowds have been heading onto the streets overnight, having lit candles at the site of the attack and setting up a memorial with the car in which he was killed. The murder sparked outrage at the time, you may recall, and throughout the year in the Middle East. There have been showdowns across the globe over it. So the anniversary now comes after Tehran asked the UN Security Council to stop what it called Washington's military adventurism as the Pentagon flew strategic bombers over the region. Then on Friday, a top Iranian official vowed revenge for Soleimani's death.
The resistance will make life for the enemy tougher and tougher. One of the forms of harsh vengeance for martyr Soleimani's blood will be the definite expulsion of Americans from the region. Another method of harsh vengeance will be punishing the perpetrators of this crime and those who ordered it.
Soleimani's daughter told RT's Going Underground program that her father's killing had fueled Iranian anger.
That terrible night, before a few hours that this happened for my father, I spoke with him on the phone, and I knew that the situation in Iraq was so dangerous. So I add a channel for the news in Iraq in my Telegram. About 1 a.m., I see a video is sharing on that channel Telegram about explosion in airport Baghdad. I had a phone call after that. I hear from one of our friends, he was asking for my father, that where is he okay or no? Because I hear a news that there is an explosion in airport Baghdad and your father was in the car and they hit it. I got so shocked and full of stress, like my heart was going out from my chest. When I turned on the TV and I saw his picture, I understand what happened, and from that day till now, I'm still shocked about what happened. It's so hard to believe.
How has the death of your father brought Iran together?
What happened in Iran and in Iraq was something, it's something so special in the history. You see how people come to the street and they are crying and they are sad and they are angry and they want revenge and they are waiting for an answer because they know what General Soleimani did for them. America thought that everything will be stopped because they killed General Soleimani, the power of the Middle East. But they are so wrong. They didn't see the anger in the eyes of Iranian people. They didn't see their tears. They didn't see their sadness. And I have to say that General Soleimani has a military from people that they will take revenge from Trump. And they are so wrong. They are thinking this will be the end of General Soleimani. This is the beginning. Our people are united and they will stand in front of such a dangerous powers.
Why would Donald Trump say that your father was a monster?
He is the monster, not my father. My father did his job so well and make them so angry. You are seeing every plan they are making in the Middle East is destroyed. Everywhere they are trying to enter and hurt Iran, they are failed. Why? Of course, for them, my father is a big monster. But my father is a savior. He saved people, not just his own country. He did this for all countries. He did this for people, not just Middle East. He destroyed ISIS because he don't want people innocent in Europe got killed by such a dangerous virus. How my father can be a person who wants to kill American people and people in Europe? How? He was saving them from the ISIS. He was saving them to don't let anyone to hurt them. He was fighting for them. How he can be a terrorist to kill people?
Do you think it means anything that Joe Biden will be in the White House?
There is no difference between Biden and Trump. They are the same guy. And they are following the same policy. There is no difference between them. Trump ordered killing my father. But Biden support that. So there is no difference. The problem we have with America is with their policy. This will not change. They are the same people, the same mind, the same way. And each one of them is worse than the other one.